Hello everyone, before we get started on price updates, I want to quickly let you know that I have started up a new YouTube series on my other channel in which I'm just doing these corny dad jokes while I'm playing some lottery scratchers. So if you want to see if I actually win these things, also if you want to just hear what the jokes are themselves, they're YouTube shorts, they're about a minute long. I'll have a link down in the description below. Feel free to check it out and feel free to subscribe and like. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So looking at the general crypto market, we can see that things are pretty much flatlined. Bitcoin is down 0.33%. It's above $30,000. It did drop down below $30,000 earlier in the day. Ethereum is at $1,906. BNB is hanging in there around 243. XRP is down down 1.2%. Accidentally clicked on it. And we see Dogecoin is up 0.64%. You get the point. So let's go ahead and go over some of the larger movers. BIT is down 5.29%. We have Cello, I believe is how you say that, or Cello. It's up 14.51%. That one's looking quite good. We have ICX is up 6.25%. And then zooming out, looking at some of the Ethereum tokens, we've got, we got Chainlink here, which is up 8.86%. And then we've also got Shiba Inu down 0.18%. Some of the other tokens that are out there, there's this APT token, which is up 5.81%. We have Gala up 12.12%. 12.12. XRD is down 5.61%. And look at this, GMT up 20.16%. Let's go ahead and move over now. Bitcoin on the trading charts. We have 3 days of candle closures. We're just 10 minutes away, less than 10 minutes away from another daily candle. So it is very likely this is going to be 4 red days in a row. And look at that big green candle the next day, essentially dropping off as well. So it's like a big pump, big dump, and that happened with Bitcoin. We did have that drop below this level of support around $30,000, but as of the day itself, it looks like we are going to be likely closing above that line. So after 4 days of red candles, given the channel that we're in right now, it's looking pretty good, the odds that we're going to see a green candle follow up, because we've seen instances of 3 days in a row. This is breaking that trend pattern with a 4th day. So overextending itself, potentially we're going to see that reversal and starting to climb back up. Moving on to BNB. With BNB, we are still within the sideways channel, up, down, up, down, up, down, and really trying to see if we can break out of this. We did kind of go out of it a little bit here back on July 14th, but I'm talking about a significant push, right? So it had briefly gone over the 50 moving average, this green line, but it retraced back and closed out on the day. And essentially you can see it closed out on the day, almost right on the line itself. So this green line continues to go down. Price continues to move sideways, increasing the odds that we'll be able to get above the 50 moving average and hopefully actually have a closing day on that too. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum has had 3 days of red candles on the 4th day, and what do you see is a trend pattern here? That top level line, that trend line, we really zoom out here on Ethereum, right? Really zooming out big time. It's not loading in all the information for some reason. What we can see is that the level of support for the closures has essentially been on this. So bad news is that if this continues, that means that every day Ethereum would keep going down, having a lower level support line. I don't expect it to go down every single day, obviously, but we want to see this make a reversal and go up as well. Now moving on to some of the other token prices real quick. We've got SafeMoon on the BNB chain. It is up 0.29%, $15,000 in buy volume, $17,000 in sell volume. SafeMoon on Polygon is up 0.48%, but the candle itself is red. So And then we got $30 on buy volume, $2,700 in sell volume. SafeMoon with Ethereum, down 1.02%, $60 in buy volume, $1,300 in sell volume. Blockbuster Tech is down 0.16%. We have $1,000 in buy volume, $1,200 in sell volume. And then Pepe, we got one transaction. It's a buy. It's $1,900. Don't see it directly impacting percentage changes here, but we do have one transaction buy on the day. Okay, so outside of that, I'm going to do a little bit of speculating here, or at least just kind of sharing some outside elements that may end up having a huge impact on prices, and to keep an eye on this. There is the new grain deal. So if you guys know much about what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, or if you don't, you may or may not have heard about this. But essentially, with Ukraine, they're a huge exporter of grain. And grain is obviously a huge, huge thing that we need for food. And it affects a lot of different countries. So there was this protective order that was put out there in which Ukraine, with their ship, was able to go through. And Russia wasn't going to be screwing with that anymore. Well, that deal has just been closed out. And shortly before this, Turkey, the country Turkey, had mentioned that if they need to, they're going to put their naval fleet to protect the Ukrainian ships. So what does this mean? This means that what we could potentially see is an escalation of the war if Russia decides to push the buttons. But we still have to wait and see how this is going to play out. Just because they're canceling the deal doesn't mean that they're actually going to go and try and attack these grain ships, right? We also don't know if Turkey is going to follow through and trying to protect these Ukrainian ships. And when I say protect, I mean, are they going to return fire? Or are they just going to do an escort? And if Russia tries to attack the ships, is Turkey's fleet just going to leave? Like, that wouldn't make any sense, but it could just be like for show. I don't think that would be the case. If Turkey was to get involved and this was to escalate, there's a very good chance that we could end up seeing other members of NATO also coming in, and then this becomes a much bigger thing. We're jumping too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's hope that everything actually calms down, that the war ends soon, that there's peace, things are good. That would be the best case scenario, right? Okay, that's what I got for you guys in this video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. Thank you also to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out, thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Thank you to my YouTube members as well, and we'll see you in the next episode.